All right, it's been a while. Haven't really posted anything on YouTube in a long time. There's been a lot of stuff going on in that time frame that I have not posted. Have been riding, which is a plus. We have been getting in the work. We have been riding some Supercross, a little bit of arena cross as well. Um, yeah, so we'll kind of get back into what's been going on. So obviously I've moved homes, or we have moved homes. We're still in the same area of Tampa, but needed a little bit of a bigger garage. Also, where we were living was really, really expensive for how close it was to the city, and yeah, wanted something that was a little bit more beneficial to what we are and what we're doing, and also closer to the in-laws for our daughter and all that stuff. So yes, we have moved. That's been a lot of stuff going on with that. We are finally pretty situated now. Still not fully done. It is, as of right now, it is Halloween. So happy Halloween, everyone. We do have Stefan Rubini moving in, I think tomorrow, actually, which is pretty cool. He's a EMX 250 world champion, just won the Brazilian 450 championship, and now he's coming to the States to come race full-time here. And we got a little bit of a bigger house so that we could, accommodate having a roommate, which is pretty cool. Something I've never done before. I've always kind of like lived alone, or like obviously with my wife and stuff, but wanted to change things up. Obviously, financials, you got to sometimes bills are a little expensive, so if you can have someone else live with you to kind of cut some costs down, that's what we're doing. So super excited to have Stefan here, and then also he's going to learn some Supercross and all that. So because he's going to be at Anaheim 1, so excited to kind of help him with that. Also to have someone that's very, very fit and someone to train with is a very big positive for me. So I'm very excited about that. But yeah, no, there's been a lot going on. As you can tell, like I haven't been posting much, but I have been riding, have been training, have been doing all that, have been also taking care of our daughter and doing things like that. We've gotten some pretty crazy news with our daughter. She's gonna have to have surgery, and that's something. I mean, I'll talk to the wife and see if we really want to talk about that stuff. But that's just something that's coming up that we just found out about 5 or 6 days ago. So that's been a lot to deal with. But that's not until next year. We'll do that in January. But just a lot of stuff, with that. But yeah, no, things have been hectic, I guess is the best way to put it. As you can tell, we got bikes apart behind us. There's two. There's another one right behind me that looks exactly like that one. And then my Yamaha is to the left over here. Well, yeah, it's over there. My left. Your guys is right. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But yeah, we are. It's currently, like I said, it's Friday, Halloween. I do race in Germany in 1 week today. Actually, what time it is right now, it is 2:12 p.m. So I'll actually be getting ready for the heat race right now in Germany in 1 week time. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited to go back and do the ADAC German Supercross Series with the Yamaha BMX team, which is previously the old Castrol Suzuki team that I rode for multiple years and had great success. So I'm very excited to get back racing over there, and also with a comfortable team that I've been with in the past and all familiar faces. So that's something that's pretty cool that I'm very excited about. I fly over on Wednesday of next week, so things are happening very, very quick. But yeah, man, everything's kind of coming together. Obviously, I've been posting about sponsors coming a part of our program for next year, which is also kind of this year as well, because we do have races next month. November there's two, and then also December and so on. So if you know anybody or anyone that would want to come on and be part of our program, please get in touch with me at jsrmotorsports@yahoo.com. We would love to have you part of our program. There's multiple races in store. I think it's around 25, 26 total races, just leading through May. And then obviously in the summer, we're going to do some pretty cool stuff with some content stuff that I've never done before, but we have some people involved that are going to help make that possible. So if you're interested in getting involved, there's going to be a lot of YouTube being posted, a lot of Instagram, socials, so on. That I'm very excited about. And then, obviously I'm wearing Dedicated Ride. They've jumped back on board. I'm super stoked to have Scott back with me. It's been a few years, but he was back with me when I first ever started my own program back in about 2014. He supported me, and he's back, and that's really cool. He reached out to me and said he would love to be a part, and man, he stepped up, and I'm super stoked to have them involved. He's currently an F-18 flying. We're pretty close to the Air Force Base, and their turn is right above our house. But no, super stoked to have them involved. Means a lot to me. So if you're looking for any cool clothing, whatever, dedicated ride, check out their Instagram too. They post up some pretty cool content. But yeah, quite a few things have changed. As people have seen, I am wearing 7 gear. As you can see, this is a pretty cool change for me. I wore 7 back in 2014. Always really enjoyed the brand, loved the brand, and it's a really cool deal because it's not necessarily just based around racing. It's based around just being a good human with them and doing kind of anything that I want to do with dirt bikes. So stoked to have them involved. And of course we have Nash Solutions and OnlyFans on there. You know, Caleb Gibson Art. We got the JSR Motorsports, another OnlyFans. 60, you know, is all involved, which is super cool. And I'm very thankful to be part of the 7 brand. Yeah, go get some gear. I have an affiliate code with them. It's just Starling. So if you're looking for some gear and you want to support the program in some way, get some 7 gear. Use code Starling. Helps me out. The gear is awesome, and you should see the stuff that they have coming. You're going to absolutely be mind blown, and I'm super grateful to be part of them. Another one, man, this is a cool one. As you can't really tell the sunglasses I'm wearing, but I started racing motorcycles, and I'll try to put in a little clip here from 2002, so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about here. But one of my first ever sponsors was Scott Motorsports, and I was with them for years, and then I kind of was always with Bevo, who was with Scott, but also his son John Kuzo. I went with Kuzo for years, and like so. Even though I left Scott at a younger age, I mean, I was I don't know, maybe 12 years old or so. I never really left the people of Scott. I just kind of went with Kuzo where he wanted to go, and he always took me with him, which was huge. And now he's with Star Yamaha, so I don't really have like a path to follow him. Even though if he was with, I don't know, any company these days, I would probably be in that goggle or whatever it is. But they were one of my first sponsors, and it's really cool. But we are back with Scott goggles. I reached out to Knowles, and I really wanted to be back with a brand that I first ever started with, and man, it really means a lot to be back with them. And this Prospect goggle is absolutely phenomenal. This isn't even the 2.0. This is just the standard Prospect goggle, and I'm gonna tell you right now, wow. What an amazing goggle. Like, I'm really mind blown about it. It's really easy to change your lens. You pop these things out, pop the lens out, put it back in, pop them back in, you're done. Very comfortable, perfect nose spot to breathe, but really just stoked to be part of Scott Motorsports. As I'm obviously getting towards the end of my career, as you could say, it just means a lot to be with a company like that. Knowles was, I kind of sent him an email and was just like, hey, this is what I'm doing. And he's like, what do you think you need? And I told him, and he was like, no problem. And a huge box showed up of product. And I am absolutely stoked. My debut back with Scott will be in Germany. So I'm very excited about that. But yeah, big shout out to Scott. Big shout out to Scott at Dedicated Ride as well. A lot of Scotts going on here. But yeah, we're gonna get into this thing. I'm gonna be posting a lot of YouTube. The plan is to try to do something every Monday, maybe from the weekend, and then maybe like a Thursday. But the plan is to have at least 2 YouTube videos going out per week. Sometimes it might just be me talking and giving updates on what I'm doing. It might be a short video, or sometimes it might be some riding stuff. We'll kind of see how it's going. I'm working to save up some money and buy an Insta360 so that I can create some more content for you guys. I've been talking to my buddy Dio about, he has a mic in his helmet and has a helmet cam, and he rides with it. And I think that is like one of the coolest things I've ever seen, because it's like a GoPro with talking. So yeah, plan is to try to do some stuff like that when I'm doing some motos on Supercross or Arena Cross. Maybe and it gets to a point where I could even race with something like that, in like a German series or something where it's not AMA sanctioned. But yeah, so I'm going to hop on here and kind of show you guys what's going on, or kind of tell you guys what's going on. Like I said, a lot of stuff in the works. But yeah, if you want to be part of the program, like I said, my email's in the description, but it's jsrmotorsports@yahoo.com. we're consistently looking for sponsors to jump on board and be part. And like I said, we're really going to take the social media game and the YouTube stuff and all that stuff to another level. I'm not going to edit any of this video besides putting the 2002 goggle that I have in there from when I won Loretta's. I still have that goggle hanging up. But just really, really, really stoked about everything that's coming together. A lot of life-changing things. Yeah, a lot to obviously deal with as well. But, man, we're doing our best. Oh, I guess I'll kind of back up. I did race one arena cross so far. Round one of the AMA Arena Cross. It was a very interesting day, to say the least. I did fly out, and a big shout out to BarX Yamaha for allowing me to ride Derek Drake's practice bike for the event, because otherwise I did not have a bike yet. I still only have the one Yamaha, so I didn't have a bike to ride at round one. But BarX Yamaha was willing to provide me with a motorcycle, and I'm very, very thankful for that. First, I'll say I'm always been a guy that I will ride a stock bike with like a stock ECU sometimes and some pump fuel, and like that's enough power for me on a 450. And Derek had the fastest 450 I've ever rode in my entire life, and we had it detuned as much as we could, and it was still just way, 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 way too much for me, and I couldn't ride it. It was like just a little bit too fast, honestly. Like Jamie at Twisted did an unbelievable job with it, and it was just simply too fast for me. So I struggled with that. Suspension, we had it maxed all the way soft, and it was too stiff for what we were doing. But the coolest thing is I learned so much about arena cross racing, and how it works and how the events ran, and also how you have to have bike setup. And that was something that since then I have completely changed my bike setup. I've completely changed the way I look at some things and also the way I want to set my bike up. And I think to me, that was the most beneficial weekend I've had probably in a long time, just for the simple fact of how much I learned. I got absolutely smoked. I got confused in the heat race, and I thought they took 4. Come to find out, they take 3. I got 4th, had to do the LCQ. I was like, man, first round of arena cross, and I'm already going to the LCQ. This isn't good. Like, what's going on? And I also wasn't being very aggressive at all. Not my bike. Just really didn't want to trash other people's stuff. Like, it was just a lot to deal with. But I ended up winning the LCQ and then going to the main events, and had to start second row in Moto. It was a nightmare. But I went like 8-9. I struggled really bad with the motorcycle. Not BarX's fault. It was just me. I'm a very picky guy, and I like to have my own things, and it really wasn't my own stuff. Besides, I put Luxon clamps and my own handlebars on. Everything else was literally Derek's stuff, literally everything. So it was a lot to deal with. I did get to ride the bike 2 times at the Yamaha track before, but it was a lot. That was my first time riding Supercross on a Yamaha too. So like there was just a lot of things kind of thrown at me, and I unfortunately take time to adapt, and it takes me a while to get used to some things. And yeah, that was just how that went. But no excuses. I got smoked, absolutely annihilated. It's a totally different style of racing, but I'm excited to learn and kind of progress with it a little bit more. It's a cool, like, new thing for me, really. Like, obviously I get smoked in Supercross all the time, but to go and race something and think that, hey, I could probably win round 1 and then get there and nearly get lapped in one of the motos, you're like, wow, this is a lot difficult than I thought. A lot more difficult. Another F-18 flying over, so if you can hear that, my bad. Here, that's freedom right there, baby. That is America's dream. That is like music to my ears. I absolutely love this new house because of that right there. The fact that they do their turn directly over me. Wow. I saw someone on Facebook complain about the noise that those things put out around our neighborhood, and I commented, that's American freedom, baby. Can't get any better. But anyways, yeah, like I said, got smoked, had a blast. I think I got 8th overall. But we're only like 10 points out of the lead. So ultimately, my goal going into it was to be within 10 points. So I accomplished that, and we still have a fighting chance. So very, very, very excited about how the weekend went, how much I learned. I've set my bike up different, like I mentioned. Also, another thing that we'll kind of throw out here is I'm back with active ride suspension. Matt lives about an hour from me here in Spring Hill. We've already done a test day, and I can genuinely say I've never had suspension better than what I'm on right now. I've never hit whoops better than I am right now. And this is all stuff I've learned from the arena cross and kind of how I wanted to set things up. And also Matt is learning how to set up arena cross stuff too. And we've worked together on creating this combination that is, I can't describe how amazing it is, but it's really, really well. I'm back on 22. If you guys have watched my old videos about how I've set my bike up with how the bike build with Yamaha, I'm back on 22 offset clamps just because arena cross is a little tighter, make the bike turn. Still on the long swing arm, back on a stock linkage, and the biggest thing is my sag. Usually you want around 100, you know, it's kind of like the average number. I'm on 85 sag right now. I've noticed with this Yamaha, the higher I get my rear end, the better the bike works. And that is just all the way around when it comes to whoops, turning, jumping. The bike is balanced. It doesn't squat on me coming out of corners. I can turn the bike. I can get over the front of the bike. It's amazing. So shout out to Matt at Active Ride for all that help. And I'm super stoked to be working with him. There's some more news coming out soon about some things that are changing, but ultimately we have a great program that we're working on. If you want to be part of it, like I've mentioned 3 times already in this video, and I'm sorry I have, hit me up. Let's get in contact. Let's see what we can work together to kind of help me and help you. All help is appreciated. If you know someone that would be interested, I would love to have them involved. I'm ready to have a really fun, good year. That is the goal, and really create some good content for everyone and kind of this new journey that I'm going on. Like I said, I'm 32 years old now. I've made 106 main events in Supercross. I've reached every single goal besides a podium. The closest I got was 11 seconds off of it with a 5th. And I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with how my Supercross stuff went. I wish it would have ended a little bit better, but it's time for a new chapter in life. Time for a new everything, and we're going to really focus on some content and focus on creating some cool stuff for everyone and working with brands and building this whole thing that I'm working on. And Justin Starling Racing, as you can see, it's back. JSR Motorsports. I'm super stoked. Everyone's stoked, it seems like. And this is exactly where I want to be and how I want to do it. So let's go have a great year. And like I said, we're going to be posting quite a bit more content going on and going through. And I'm just rambling on now. We're at almost 18 minutes of video. So I'm going to close this off. Thank you, everyone, for the support over the years. Let's go have a great 2026 and the rest of 2025 season, and happy Halloween. We'll see you guys next time.